Alright, so today I'm going to be ranking every single Minecraft structure in a tier list. Now, I've actually ranked a lot of other Minecraft stuff, such as all the Minecraft effects, potions, enchantments, mobs, and tools. So yep, today I'm doing these structures. First up, we have the Minecraft Shipwreck, which are actually pretty uncommon. Now, the amount of loot you get from these structures depends on how large the structures are to begin with, because like if you get a full-size ship, you can get 3 whole chests, but if you get a very destroyed one, you can only get 1. But you can actually get a lot of iron from these and even diamonds, and you can also of course get the map to the buried treasure chests. So they're pretty good if you're in the early stages of your Minecraft world. All in all, B tier. Next up we have the Minecraft Dungeon, which aesthetically they're not that good, as you know, it's a literal Minecraft huge cube of stone. But then you might argue that Minecraft is literally a block game, which yes, it's true, but aesthetically it's not that good. The loot you can get can be pretty good. I mean, you can literally get an enchanted golden apple from here, although it's extremely rare, at 2% chance. And there's always at least 2 chests, unless I guess a creeper blows it up. But they're actually pretty rare, so C tier. Next up we have the Minecraft Witch Hut, which spawn in swamps. But like, is there anything actually good in these? Like, sure, there's a cauldron. Sure, there might be a crafting table. But like, seriously? Like, there's no chest. Like, there's literally nothing. There's like no point in going into a witch hut. Like, the only good thing about witch hut is the witch. Like, literally, this structure is straight up F tier. Like, bro, it's so useless. Next up we have the Minecraft Igloo, which have a 50% chance of having a basement beneath their carpet. Now, of course, you're likely to find an igloo without the basement as well, and all there really is in those types of igloos is, you know, a crafting table, a furnace, and carpet. But if you find those with the basement, you'll find a villager, a zombie villager, a golden apple, and decent loot. And the placement of the villager and the zombie villager actually kind of teaches players how to actually cure zombie villagers. And the igloo actually, because of that, gives Minecraft a decent amount of lore. But of course, igloos without the basement are very common. And besides from the golden apple, the basement of an igloo isn't even that good. So all in all, B tier. Next up we have the Amethyst geode, added in what, Minecraft 1.18? I don't know, it was added in 1.17 or 1.18. I don't even remember exactly what was added in which update. But basically these just spawn underground and they're pretty useless unless I guess you want some amethyst and whatnot. They don't have chests or anything like such. I actually didn't even know they were classified as a structure before I started making this Minecraft structure video. So D tier. Next up we have the trail ruins, which were added in Minecraft 1.20. And literally all they give is suspicious sand and lore to Minecraft. And well, from suspicious sand you can actually get pretty good loot. But besides from that and the lore, like, trail ruins are pretty mid. So all in all, D tier. Next up we have the Pillager outpost. Now they have a singular chest at the top, which like the loot you get from there isn't even that good. And the challenges you face just to get to the top, you know, dealing with annoying pillagers. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's like the Pillager outpost also has like an annoying asymmetry, which, you know, actually annoys a lot of Minecraft players. And honestly, it's not even that good. So C tier. Next up we have the Woodland mansion. Now these are extremely rare to find. Like, they can be like tens of thousands of blocks away. And well, while these do add a lot of lore to Minecraft, and they're very mysterious because like they have a lot of rooms that can generate. Like, did you know that you can find an entire block of diamond in one of the rooms that generate in the structure? But usually the loot that you get besides from the totems you get from killing the evokers isn't even that good. So honestly, I would say Woodland mansions are actually pretty dang overrated. And unless you get really lucky by finding that diamond block, which most people don't even know in which room it is found, or don't even know about its existence at all, it's not really worth going to. And if you're like, what about the totems though? And to that I say, you can just get totems from raids. Like, you can literally make a raid farm in Minecraft and get like infinite totems. Like, some of the things that people don't like about Minecraft is how farmable totems are. Like, seriously, C tier. Next up we have the jungle temple, which can only be found in jungle biome. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, you can only find 2 chests from these structures, and one of them is protected by a booby trap, which, I mean, unless you're a noob, it's very easy to get past. There's also a puzzle you have to solve to get the other one, or, you could just break it to get it, and the loot isn't even that good, because, like, the best thing you could probably get is, like, iron, because, like, unless you're, like, a horse person and you want a saddle, or if you want some gold ingots, even though gold's not even that useful, it's very mid, so all in all, C tier. But unlike the jungle temple, the desert temple is actually good. Now in the desert temple, at the surface it may seem like there's nothing, but there's actually more to it, because if you dig through those 9 blocks in the center, you'll find yourself with a TNT trap and 4 chests that can have like actually really good loot. Now, unless you're a noob, you won't fall for the trap, and you'll likely also feel the TNT. So, desert temples are a good source for Trintitrotoluan. Yeah. But yeah, of course, they also have very good loot as well. Like you can find diamonds from them, and like get pretty stacked if you're in the early stages of Minecraft. And even besides from that, there's also a room with suspicious sand in these temples as well, from which you can also get pretty decent loot. And honestly, even though desert temples are pretty rare, I would say that like they're very iconic. Like even though there's nothing in A tier, this structure is S tier. Next up we have the desert well, which for like 10 whole years served no purpose except for, having water. They were completely useless. But then in Minecraft 1.28, they received an update and you can actually get suspicious sand from them now. Which, I mean, that doesn't make them that much more useful because nobody really uses suspicious sand that much. And while before they were an F tier, I guess now they're a D tier. Next up, we have the Minecraft fossils, which can spawn in both the overworld and the Nether. Now, they give lore to Minecraft, but besides from that, unless you're trying to get some bone blocks, they're pretty useless. But honestly, they look pretty cool, so C tier. Next up we have ocean ruins, which obviously spawn in the ocean. The loot they give isn't even that good. Like all they add is lore, and their best loot are golden apples and enchanted books. Like these structures are so forgettable, and well, yeah, they're C tier. Next up we have the ocean monument, which obviously spawn in the ocean, but the only good thing about them is, well, sponges and, well, gold. And well, if you really need gold, like just make a gold farm. Like they're not even that hard to make. But sponges are actually a key part of the ocean monument, because I believe this is the only place where you can get sponges from. So that makes it that bit more special. So unless like you're a YouTuber who's like clearing out a lot of water, sponges are pretty useless and forgettable. And while there is like, the Elder Guardian in these monuments, which for some reason is classified as a boss, these structures are also pretty inconvenient to deal with. I mean, you'll need to constantly place down doors or need a water breathing potion. And really, I would say that they're overrated. C tier. Next up, we have the Minecraft village, which, like, you want this in your Minecraft world. You just want these. Like, these can have blacksmiths from which you can get, like, really good loot, like diamonds and iron armor. You get villagers from here from which you can make a trading hall. You can make a civilization from these. You can get beds from these if you're trying to speedrun Minecraft and kill the Ender Dragon. Like, the village is the one structure you want near you as soon as you spawn into the Minecraft world. Because, like, these are just awesome. Like, they're literally an S tier structure. They're better than desert temples. Next up, we have the mine shafts, which are actually pretty common. And while they can be really long and maze-like, the loot you can get is pretty good. Like, you can literally get an enchanted golden apple from here. They're also pretty iconic due to the good loot they give. And honestly, A tier. Next up, we have the ancient city, which was added in Minecraft 1.19 and spawns the warden. Now, this structure actually has the highest likelihood of having enchanted golden apples. I mean, you can literally get 3 whole enchanted golden apples from a single chest from this structure, although that is extremely rare. And I guess the reason for that is because, you have to deal with the warden, which I guess is actually the part that stands out about these structures because I mean the warden, it's cool. Even though Mojang doesn't classify it as a boss, I mean it wasn't intended to be a boss and it was added. It's basically the hardest boss and the hardest Minecraft mob to deal with. And it also adds a lot of lore to Minecraft, like A tier. Next up we have ruined portals, which if you're in the early stages of Minecraft, they can be really good to get into the Nether, and they have good loot as well. I mean, you can also find gold blocks from these, which, I mean, you're usually going to use these if you're in the earlier stages of Minecraft, unless I guess they have loot like golden apples and the notch apple. So yeah, they're pretty good B tier. Next up we have the Nether Fortress, which of course you need to go in order to get blaze rods in order to beat the game. Now, the best part about this is, you know, the blazes. But you can actually get diamonds from these and saddles. And of course, they add lore to Minecraft, which is a word I've probably said quite a lot of times in this video. But, like, I mean, structures, like, they give so much lore to Minecraft. And honestly, while this structure would have been like a C or D tier, because of how important it has been bumped up to a high B tier. Next up we have the Bastion, which these are actually pretty overpowered. I mean, you'll usually get ender pearls from these if you're speedrunning the game, or even if you're just playing the game normally, because I mean, killing enderman can be a hassle. And while you can't get ender pearls from villagers, I mean, that's also a hassle. Like, you can easily get ender pearls from the structure, and you can also easily get netherite and other good loot. And honestly, I would say that Bastions are underrated in the non-speedrunning community. High A tier. Next up we have the Stronghold, which obviously you need to go into the end. But besides from that, of course, there's also that one library room where you can get like a lot of enchanted books. And of course, a lot of books from, you know, the bookshelves themselves. But besides from that, all they do is add something that is spelled L-O-R-E. Really, if it weren't for the end portal, this structure wouldn't exist first of all, but if it somehow did, it would be like a D tier or C tier thing, just like the Nether Fortress. And honestly, it has the same rating as it as well, with a high B tier. Next up we have the End City, which of course can only be found in the end, and you usually get to them after you've beaten the Ender Dragon. And I say usually because you can actually come to these structures by building a flying machine in the end, as you know, proven by one of Dream's 500 manhunts. But like these have like really good loot, like end game loot. Like they have a lot of diamonds, enchanted stuff. Like the loot you get is really good. But unless you're speedrunning the game, by the time you get to the structure, you likely already have really good loot. But if you don't and you just quickly speedrun the game, the loot in here is really good. A tier. Next up we have the End Ship, which the main thing about this is that it gives you the elytra, but it can also give you 2 potions of regeneration. But these don't always spawn with End Cities, which is the structure they spawn with. But I mean, Elytra just completely changed the game. I mean, nobody uses minecarts or really horses if they have the Elytra. And honestly, while the Elytra is extremely controversial, I like the Elytra, and so the End City is an A tier structure. So yep, those are all of these structures currently in the game as of recording, rated in a tier list.